The text messaging part of Grower's Edge is very handy because every day I'll receive a text that shows me where the best local market is.
That's what I like about Grower's Edge too. It gives me the information I want on my smartphone so that if I'm not in the office, I still get the information that I need.
Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's June 7th, 2013. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Brock Shimano. Well, Brock, let's jump into fire tip. See how the grains ended the week. As you can see, we have a lot of strength on the board here. Old crop corn picking up 2 3/4. New crop corn up 10 3/4. Old crop beans up just a penny, but new crop soybeans for November delivery picking up 24 1/2. We had a relatively quiet day in the wheat complex. Chicago wheat off a penny and a half. Kansas City wheat down 3 1/2. If you guys want live quotes over at your home or office, visit us at grainhedge.com. You can take a no-obligation trial of the platform that you see here on GrainTV. You know, Brock, certainly we saw a lot of strength out of the new crop deliveries for corn and soybeans. It seems like next Wednesday's report is certainly starting to be at the front of traders' minds here. Next Wednesday, we will get the June USDA WASDE report. Expectations are for potentially lower production estimates out of the new crop for corn and soybeans. I know you kind of looked at that today. What are we seeing there? Kind of what's to expect?
Today what we did get is the Planalytics first yield estimates for this crop year.
Right.
If we take a look at this yield map provided by Planalytics, this is the corn yield for across the country. What I want to highlight here is the dark green areas, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, some of those areas. What we're looking at there is for about a 20 bushel increase over where we ended last year on the final corn yields for those states. We do see some other areas looking to gain significantly, South Dakota and Nebraska. But you know, if you look at Minnesota and North Dakota, they're looking like they're going to be lagging just a little bit behind where they were last year, and I think the reason for that is for some of that late planting that is actually taking effect right now. You know, if we turn our attention over here to soybeans, a little bit of a different story. Again, though, in Iowa and Illinois, we're looking for increases, as well as in Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, some of those areas. But look at the southeastern part of the country. It looks like we're supposed to, our Planalytics is anticipating quite a bit of yield reductions for that part of the country, and the reason there is also for the planting delays. We were quite a bit behind in those areas where we should be for this time of year. But overall, for the yields that Planalytics is estimating, 149 for corn, 41.4 for soybeans, and that's quite a bit below both on what the USDA had in May. For corn on USDA, they had 158 bushels per acre in May. For soybeans, 44.5 in May. So we're looking for, our Planalytics is looking for quite a bit of yield reductions, especially in that corn market. And I really think the funds are starting to pay attention to that, and that's why we saw new crop corn, new crop soybeans rallied quite a bit here today. We saw funds be net buyers of about 8,000 contracts on each corn and soybeans today. Yeah,
certainly lending the support there on the new crop. You know, in the cash market, we had some interesting changes here this week as well. Let's kind of run through what we saw there. First of all, here for soybeans, if we take a look at the map, as you can see here, we had soybeans showing some weakness this week, on average down 10 cents across the country. River markets led the way lower, down 13 cents on average, and we had soy plants down 7 cents there. So it really seems like we're still feeling the effects of some of that July to August contract roll that we talked about a little bit yesterday on GrainTV. But certainly soybean basis in general backing off here. Corn, a little bit of a different story. On average, we saw corn basis up 1 penny here over the last week. River markets were a little bit weak, down 3 cents on average. You can see on this map here that some weakness was on the southern Mississippi here over the last week. And ethanol plants actually were up 2 cents just last week. So it certainly seems like ethanol plants have been bidding a little bit more aggressively, I guess. Certainly saw a very strong production figure this Wednesday out of the EIA. Bottom line, though, for corn basis right now, we see it on average sitting 32 cents above the July contract, and we think that there's a potential that we could see that weaken here as we see some of the bigger players start to roll from the July to the September futures contract. So certainly we're going to keep an eye on that, but right now could represent a pretty good marketing opportunity in terms of corn basis. It remains very strong, and if we see that roll have the same effect on corn, it certainly could knock the legs out of basis here a little bit in the weeks to come. If you have any questions about that or want a personalized analysis of your cash market, give us a call here at GrainHedge. Our number is 877-472-4607. You know, in general, Brock, I think that's kind of what we saw here for the week in the grain market. Next week coming down the pipe, as we said, we're We're going to be getting the USDA report, the June WASDE numbers on Wednesday. That day we'll get EIA ethanol numbers as well, and then as always, export sales on Thursday. So a big week fundamentally for the grain market. We'll keep you posted on that here on GrainTV. Thanks a lot for joining us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.